Crab cakes. Who knew they had all that ass? Well, I know someone who does, and that is my good friend and fellow comedy writer, Marvin Zelp.
Yes. Hey, guys.
The most ripped man on earth. You might be lucky if he keeps his shirt on.
My shirt might come off
it's probably
at some point during the filming. I can't make any promises.
Yeah.
It's just,
you are from Baltimore, and I hit the D instead of the T. It's a silent D.
It's not a hard D though. Like, it's not a hard D. It's just Baltimore. Like,
Baltimore.
Yeah, you can't emphasize the D unless you're talking to me.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you can emphasize it. I'm sorry.
Here comes the shirt. I'm so glad to have you on today because we are making crab cakes on Poor Choices, and I wanted you because crab cakes, among a couple other things within the United States, is like gatekept by people.
Oh, absolutely.
And so
yes.
You being here, the ultimate gatekeeper, I would have you protect all of my foods.
Yes.
You're gonna protect me from the comments of people saying that's not how you do crab cakes.
No. So this is, I will let you know now, this is how I do crab cakes. Now it is a compilation of my grandma's recipes and me getting healthier in my life. Right. So I've made healthier choices. So don't come for me. This is going to be phenomenal. You're welcome again.
Yes, you'll be able to sleep well at night, and you'll be able to take off your sleep apnea mask.
I don't know. I feel like you got to do a lot to take off your sleep apnea mask. But you know what?
It's a start. It's a small step. Now, can I ask you your grandma's recipe? Because I saw this thread on Reddit a long time ago.
Yes.
Did you ever learn that your family's secret recipe was off the back of like a Betty Crocker box? So did she develop it over time, or was it like take it from something and develop? Like, do you know where like the origins is?
I doubt it, but I couldn't confirm it because there was never any. There are no measurements, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect. Not one measurement. It's an eye, smell test. That's what I got for you. But I'm gonna get you as close as I can to this phenomenal recipe.
I'm gonna call out some numbers and hope that I'm right. But that's the essence of cooking, is just like kind of just eyeballing things. I mean, having measurements is fun, but sometimes it's like, hey, you need a little bit more salt today for this thing. All food is not made equally or grown equally. So.
Listen, salt don't always salt the way it's supposed to salt. So you gotta adjust.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be what it is.
Yes.
And that's what's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to touch into, because I left off the actor, producer, all that stuff like that. But like we met on the wonderful set of Dormtainment's Black Nat Geo for Kevin Hart's LOL Network.
Yes.
Season 1.
Season 1 is available. You can actually go watch season 1. Season 2 is in a Google Drive.
Yeah.
It is. And it's completed.
It's on paper.
It is done. Season 2 is done. However, you can only talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen. The most popular show on the LOL Network, not including Kevin Hart, season 2 is in the Dropbox. I'm gonna start this drinking now.
Today's Poor Choice has nothing to do with this pairing. It's Gentleman Jack, because that's Marvin's favorite drink. Marvin shows up to our parties all the time with the most gigantic bottle of Jack Daniels every time. So I thought we'd be gentlemen today.
I appreciate that.
And get the Gentleman Jack. And then I've got a Red Bull here with some Tito's vodka in it because I need it. Anyways, Marvin's gonna walk us through the process of making these crab cakes.
Yes. So when you buy your crab cake packaging, it's going to come in a container. Unless you are in Baltimore, then it's going to come in a different container. But we're not. We're here in sunny LA. So the container that it comes in, John's going to throw in the cutaway of me cleaning the actual crab meat. And because the way the blue crab is designed, when they blend the shell, it sometimes gets into the crab meat. So you got to go through and just make sure you get the translucent hard shell out, which is stupid, but here we are, right? It's done now.
Yeah, and this is a full pound.
So this is a full pound of crab meat, and it goes, so what do we do now? We season the motherfucker.
Yes. Now I do want to say, this is blue crab, right?
This is blue crab.
Blue crab and it's lump crab meat. Can you do claw or whatever, or it needs to be blue? Like, what are the specifics for it?
You will never make a crab cake with claw crab meat. If someone does that, hang them out the window like the 5 Heartbeats. My office hours are from 9 to 5. No, lump crab meat is it. Because if you look at a crab and you break a crab open, there's the insides, that's the lump. And then the crab claws, different texture, different flavor.
Gotcha.
Right? And then we use blue crab because blue crab is sweeter than Dungeness and King and
that's good to know. I didn't know what the difference actually was in like a taste, but that makes total sense now.
So it's a sweeter crab.
Gotcha.
And so
don't add sugar to your Dungeness crab and think you can get away with it.
No,
because I know you're gonna try it.
there's someone who was like, I got it. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what else do we have? Old Bay. Now, if you are from anywhere else in the world, I get it. You don't understand. You're like, what's this Old Bay? I've never seen it before. Anyone who's from home knows that this is the only way, and I mean the only way to season crab, seafood, or anything that you got. If you do anything else, get out of my kitchen. My office hours are from 9 to 5. So Old Bay, and it's like, why Old Bay? Old Bay was actually created in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yes. So the old Chesapeake Bay. This is the only place, if it's anything else, if it says Maryland style, Chesapeake, Old Bay.
So no Tony's, no slap your mama, no none of that shit that actually has nothing to do with Old Bay. It has to be Old Bay. I'm trying to make up for the people who says, I'm gonna take a shortcut and just use this.
If you do anything, if you follow this recipe 100%, 99%, and use something that's not Old Bay, I can't promise your results.
Yeah.
What we do with the seasoning is we go with our Old Bay seasoning first, and so we season
And the
generously.
amount is just, it's just kind of like, is everything coated with a seasoning?
Yeah, it's so here's Black Home Family Recipe 101. It's gotta look the right way, right? Like that's just really what it is. You season, you look at it, you go, I need a little bit more seasoning. Season good, smells good. I think we have enough.
There's a lot of people out there who are like afraid to over season, which is a valid concern. But
Absolutely.
Like, if you need a measurement, start with a teaspoon and then look at it and be like, is everything touched by seasoning? I think is like a fair assessment.
Yeah, I think you're probably looking more honestly towards like a tablespoon and a half, maybe 2, based on the 2 pounds. And this is, again, I've never had to measure, so I've never stopped to make my life harder.
Yeah.
I've never been like, well, Marvin, let's figure it out. No. That looks about right. Can you? We got to zoom in?
Yeah. We're going right there.
That looks about right.
So about a tablespoon of Old Bay, but
maybe a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of Old Bay. But see it, right? Then we go with the garlic powder. Now,
I've warned you.
yes, John is giving me.
This is a very interesting garlic powder.
He said this particular garlic powder likes to powder. Yeah. All right, so
it is a cloud that will come pouring out.
So, to avoid the Tony Montana issue, we sprinkle basically over.
You see how it's powdering?
Yeah.
But it clumps at the thing too, so that's why I was just like, yo, just be careful with that.
I'm being careful.
It smells good though.
It smells phenomenal. A little bit of pepper.
Now that felt like a teaspoon of
about a teaspoon of garlic. This is probably honestly maybe a half teaspoon.
Yeah.
This is guessing on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. And a little bit of onion powder.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you probably like a 1/4 teaspoon, and it's just to give it a little bit of bang. So what we do then is do we have a spoon to mix?
Right here in this drawer right there, yonder.
We're gonna take that. I'm gonna take the spoon.
Is this a crab cake that you could like make part of a healthy balance? Like oh, I'm meal prepping, but I want something different from broccoli and steamed chicken. Like, is this something you could work into that?
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's why I was saying like the way I do it is a little healthier.
Good to know.
Than what your grandmama do. Like we're not frying these crab cakes today. They're not hitting oil or grease at all. But now what we do is, one of the things that's important is to make sure your crab meat stays crab meaty, right? So when we mix it, we don't want to break it up. We want to get it coated.
So you're doing more of like a folding process versus
that's exactly
breaking it up.
We're folding the seasoning into the crab, as opposed to blending or mixing. Okay. Now, this is the black part of this. Smell that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You see?
Yeah.
You see? Just yeah. So now, why do we do this now? We do this, and we're gonna sit this to the side. because part of this crab cake recipe is what we do is we stuff it with shrimp. So we're gonna let this marinate shortly. It's crab meat. It's gonna soak this up really quickly. We're gonna get the shrimp.
Yep.
Where's that? The shrimp is in the
It is
fridge.
in the fridge. And one thing I like to point out, whenever you're doing proteins, make sure it's dry. If you want a good, I don't know if you need like a good sear on it or just a good cooking on it, but like make sure your proteins are dry. So I'm actually gonna take those out. I had to thaw them out earlier, but the difference between obviously having wet protein versus dry protein is the wet protein is gonna essentially steam. And there's gonna be like a thin layer between your meat and the actual pan itself of that steam, and it's gonna just never get that good sear, and that's where all the flavor is. So make sure that you dry your proteins always.
Dry it because, and here's the thing, especially in this, you want that little sear because that's gonna help with the flavor profile. Look at me.
There you go.
Look at me, food networking out this bitch right now.
Shit. What's the note at the top of the tongue and what's the finish, Marvin?
Food networking out this bitch. Listen, first of all, Chopped is one of my favorite shows. I could never, never compete on it because you give me like an old birthday cake and I'm out. But I love the show. That's all I got.
There you go. All right, so this is a quarter pound of some shrimp.
Just a quarter pound of shrimp.
Medium shrimp, tail off, deveined, shell off, obviously, if all the other stuff is happening.
All the stuff. I grabbed the bowl after he dried it because I want to get a little bit of Old Bay on it.
Oh yeah. Pop that in.
Yep. So, shrimp is super easy to make, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't overcook the shrimp. So again, we look at it, we season with the Old Bay. Ooh, that should be enough.
Yep. Put like a teaspoon's worth.
Yep. I'm gonna take this. Nah, I'm not. I'm gonna get another one.
We can use multiple spoons.
Yeah.
Got a lot of spoons here in this house.
Random spoon.
Random spoon.
Listen, Cole was on to something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just gonna, that's my argument, and I'm gonna leave it there.
The irony would be if he actually started a rent a spoon instead of becoming a car salesman.
Listen.
And it took off.
Here's the thing, he could have. He could have literally started a Renum Spoons and it would have taken off.
Just because it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his face, I'm the owner, come to Renum Spoons. You gotta make it buffet style. You can't have like really good shit on the Renum Spoons thing, right? But you come in buffet style, you literally pay for your spoon, $20, $30 for your spoon.
Yeah.
And go ham.
I would just hate for inflation and how it affects random spoon because I'm like, damn, spoons is $40 now?
Right. Well, people would go crazy over the price of spoons, but if you think about it, right? Like you go to Golden Corral, you pay whatever they actually pay at the door.
Yeah.
It's literally that. You're paying your entrance fee, but instead you get a Renum Spoons, Renum Spoon. And it's literally, on the spoon, it say Renum Spoons.
Renum spoons. At Golden Corral, you're really just paying for yeast rolls and then everything else is free.
Listen, and those rolls are phenomenal.
That's why you go there.
Phenomenal. Anyway, so.
High heat?
High heat.
All right, so let's get that going. Yeah, let's listen to that roar, that jet engine.
That motherfucker is hot.
Hell yeah. So we do want this to get, so don't ever get impatient with your pan. Like we're using cast iron because cast iron is really good at distributing heat evenly. You can use a nonstick if you want to, but this just works really well for what we're trying to do. And also just be patient. You can do the hand test to see if it's really hot. But don't be like, okay, it's been 50 seconds, let me throw my thing in, because you want to get that good
You
sear.
want the hot on that immediately. Like
and the best way to know is like, if you want to do like the water test, so just dip your hand in some water, throw it in, if it beads, you know you're hot enough.
Oh, that's nice. See, I do it when I fry my chicken. And so you throw the water in and it pops back at you.
Yeah.
Now it's ready to fry.
That's so dangerous.
It's ready to fry. I'd be like,
so dangerous.
ah! Oh, now
when my turkey explodes, that's when I know the oil is really hot.
Now you know it's ready and it's ready for cooking.
Now, what oil do we need for this? I have an olive oil. I have a more high heat one like grapeseed and safflower. Does it really matter the oil? Because a lot of people like kind of gravitate towards olive, but olive oil has a very low smoke point compared to like other oils.
I use olive oil because I used to use canola and vegetable. So olive oil was my next progression. Someone told me that safflower has a really good high point.
It does.
I just haven't done it. So
I have some.
Yeah, but my reputation's on the line.
Okay.
So we're gonna use olive oil today. That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
but
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, olive oil is in.
Roller.
Boom. Get the oil all over it.
Over the pan. Look at that. Roll.
And you want to have enough oil to pretty much coat the bottom of the pan.
Yep.
Some people are like, oh, 2 tablespoons. Just
No.
Every pan is different.
You saw how I eyed that one time and had it ready one time? John, you want to do the honors?
That was great.
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna just get this out, and then
Yep.
I want to make sure all the shrimp are in contact and
With
have
the bottom
space.
of the pan, yes.
We don't want to crowd our pan because that will just create more steam. And shrimp cook fast, so this might be like 1 minute.
I'm going to say this is 1 minute per side,
Yeah,
maybe.
pretty much.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different ways to know when your shrimp are done. Sometimes if you're using bigger ones, you can look down the middle of it. Like if you hold it to yourself and you can see, like if that part is translucent, then you're good.
Yes.
Other times when you're using smaller shrimp like this, literally just pick up one. If one is good, flip them all over.
Flip them all. Yep.
So this has probably been like a minute. We're just gonna check. See, already?
Oh, goodness. That's.
Yeah, fast. Very, very fast. That's the benefit of cast iron. Like it goes so fast. And honestly, on this other side, 30 seconds. If you overcook your shrimp, it will become rubbery and crazy and nasty if Chef KC comes in.
Hey, Chef KC.
I've cooked with him plenty of times. Because you also have to remember this is going to go back into
the oven
again
when we cook the crab cake. Yes.
And the other benefit of doing this, I think as you told me earlier, was we want that shrimp flavor that's in the pan now, right?
No, so we're not frying.
Oh.
We want the shrimp flavor. So what we're doing is we're stuffing our crab cakes. So when we stuff the crab cakes, we're going to dice the shrimp and put the shrimp into the crab meat. So we're going to get the shrimp flavor from the actual shrimp itself.
I like that.
So crab meat is phenomenal and tasty on its own. It's going to be sweet and succulent and all that. But when you throw that shrimp in and you get one of those little chunks in the bite, let me
know what you want to
tell
say.
you.
I know exactly the word you want to say.
Let me tell you.
All right, so we have our shrimp is done. We just need to dice this up, right?
Yeah, we're going to dice the shrimp up.
All right, I got you there.
The next two things, mayo and mustard. And you will have people say, I use spicy mustard, I use Dijon mustard, I do all of this stuff, and that's fine. Take your choice. I use regular yellow mustard because the taste in itself pops, all right? Like, so we don't have to worry about it getting lost. So you only need, honestly, a
splash.
I feel like a splash is aggressive.
Splash, because I've never measured mustard in a splash.
Me neither.
It's
but
like
I feel like
a squirt.
Yeah, you need
squirt.
Not even a full squirt, just a little bit to get the mustard in there. I mean, we're just going. Yep, that's plenty.
That's about it. Now,
Yeah.
is this a fine enough, or should I go finer?
That's perfect.
Cool.
Because what we want is we want to find the shrimp. We don't want to lose the shrimp.
Gotcha.
In the mix. You take full placket. And I might need a little bit more than that, but before we do that, I'm gonna do the thing, I'm gonna roll it. Again, same thing with these.
So just to make sure that was 2 pockets of
mayo. It was 2 pockets of mayo.
I'm gonna put that in the description, 2 pockets of mayo.
It might be a 3rd pocket, but again, we fold and we don't super mix because we want to keep the crab nice and lumpy. Oh, this is fucking beautiful. So, listen, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I cook. I cook all the time. But sometimes when it's doing what you want it to do. Now you see how that's folded in?
Yeah.
It's wet, but it's not, I don't know if it's homogeneous.
It's held together, but it's not super soupy.
It's not wet.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna add the shrimp in now.
Okay.
And then we're going to add, and mind you, I do a little bit of panko breadcrumbs, and I only do it for flavoring taste. I don't do it for binding. Like this is not, oh my God, let's get the panko breadcrumbs in there to bind it. Not necessary.
Now, what are typical fillers that people use for, because that's always a big thing. Does this have a lot of filler or not? Like is it like egg and breadcrumb and things?
So yeah, so people use eggs, people use breadcrumbs, and they do all this other stuff. We're using mayonnaise, right? Mayonnaise is an egg-based, it's what I like to call the poor man's aioli, right? So
yes.
That's what mayo is. So it's already got its binding attributes. So we use it for flavoring and for binding. We have a little bit of mustard, also for the same thing. Wet it up, get it in. We're gonna mix in the shrimp. We're gonna mix in a little bit of the panko breadcrumb, just to give it a little bit of texture. And then she's gonna be ready to get warm. So
I can't wait for her to be warm.
We've warm and wet, ladies and gentlemen. Warm and wet. Now we're using regular panko. Here's Marvin's secret, and I didn't tell John this. I use Italian because it has a little bit of extra flavoring than the panko.
Oh, okay.
But we're fine. We're fine. We're here. Y'all not gonna taste this.
I definitely don't have any Italian breadcrumbs.
But I use.
Mike, let me see. Keep talking.
I use a little bit of Italian because the Italian breadcrumbs has seasoning to it. Like they put a little bit of their herbs and all of that, and it gets a little. But it's fine. We'll see what he has. If not, we'll still get the texture from the panko breadcrumbs. So we'll be good. My mother.
Yep.
YouTube algorithm.
Here's the thing. I do love panko, but for the sake of like seasoning added to it, yeah, I'm with it. All right, cool. Italian.
Yes. So we got Italian bread. Oh, this is perfect. This is what I love to use. Same thing. We coat a little bit. It's not a big coating. We just want to get it around. Beautiful.
I'd say that was not even like a cup's worth. It's probably just like a
no. This is probably maybe a quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter cup, and that no.
Yeah.
2 tablespoons, 2 or 3 tablespoons.
And you're looking still for like a certain type of texture, a certain type of look.
Yeah. So what the problem with breadcrumbs in itself is if we put too much in, it dries out.
Yeah.
Everything else. So we don't want to dry it out. We literally just want to get a little bit of texture into the mix. Now, I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna tell you, I need a little bit more.
Okay.
This is the learning from your mama on the fly.
And that's the thing I think I've tried to say every single video is it's like, if you ever learn what an actual tablespoon, cups, all the stuff it is, and then you just go back and watch like old Food Network things, you realize they're just throwing out numbers, but actually not using those exact measurements. And so a recipe is more of a guideline, but if you want more breadcrumbs, if you want more Parmesan, if you want more paprika, like all that stuff is up to you. It's just a good guideline.
You see what that look like right now? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call pretty. What I'm going to do is add another little bit of mayo so that we can get the binding. We're gonna make the cakes straight from this.
Yeah, okay, nice.
And go in, so.
And the more mayo is just bring it so it actually stays together.
That's it.
In the form of the thing, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the average person is probably looking for like, if they never made crab cakes before, they're looking for something that's like more wetter because you feel like it's more pliable.
Yes.
The reality is like you still want a little brokenness, but it should stay together on its own.
You wanna see the crab live, right? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You want to see the crab alive. And again, folding, not mixing.
And like I have rubber spatulas, which will make this easier, but like we're doing this like super just down home. This is what you probably got in your kitchen.
Right. This is on the fly. How do I do this? How do I impress her?
Yeah.
Look how pretty that is, John. Look at that.
That looks good, and also
smell it. Ah! What'd you say?
I should have made an aioli for this. I might have the stuff to make it, but like, yeah, that's good. I'm excited about this.
You ready to kick these up?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so do we have aluminum foil?
Oh, absolutely. Got it
yes.
right here.
Bam. Get a little bit of aluminum foil.
So this, you told me earlier, this 1 pound of lump crab meat and this 1/4 pound of shrimp and all the other things.
We'll make
4
cakes. Now, if you are making, here's the thing, if you're making this for guests, right, and you're making like, let's say, what's the word, hors d'oeuvres, right, or starters or things like that, you can make really small ones. What we do here is we make Maryland style crab cakes, and if your crab cake isn't the size of a hamburger, then what are we doing here? Okay, so for who I am and how I grew up, I can only give you 4 from this pound of crab meat. You'll be fine. Coat this so that it doesn't stick.
Yep.
Do we have?
You want to use olive oil or like a spray? Olive oil works.
I use a Pam spray. Do we have a quick spray?
Yep.
Olive oil spray. Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect.
It's literally a non-stick spray. Don't be out here trying to season the bottom of the thing. Bah!
Yep.
Voila. So now, handful.
Yeah. And they don't like,
Ball
it's very rustic, so it doesn't have to be perfectly even each.
No. This isn't one of those like, oh my gosh, these are not the right size. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more on this one because it ain't sizing. It ain't, yeah.
I'm so excited about this.
Me too.
I haven't done a lot of seafood on this show, but I feel like this is the perfect thing.
So, again, and now if you look at it, you can see the crab, you can see the shrimp. It's a very pretty moment. I wash my hands, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all missed that part of the episode, so I don't need y'all out here talking about you didn't wash your hands.
Here's the thing, when I first started the show, someone was like, I didn't see you wash your hands. I'm like, do you really want to see an extra 5 minutes of me washing my hands every time I do? Because I do wash my hands a lot to an obsessive level, but like, do you really want to see that when you're trying to cook this recipe? Because I know what people do. They watch the video the first time, say, I want to do that, and then they watch the video over and over again as they're cooking it, and you kind of want to get through the shits.
That's another one.
Oh yeah, those look amazing.
Yep. Looks like we might get 5 out of this, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, it'll be a little smaller, but we can do it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that's that, and we'll get a 5th crab cake out of it. We got people here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to be considerate.
Also, if you're making this for like a family, like, you know, little Timmy, he don't need a full crab cake.
Nah, he don't even.
You got the dad one, the mom one, the oldest, the middle.
This is clean, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
This is clean.
and then you got Dewey's crab cake.
Right, like, he don't need all that.
Oh, and that is the other thing. So, like, because there's size differences, each one's going to kind of cook at a different...
They're going to cook at a different,
Now, they're all technically cooked and done, but you want them all to come out the same way.
Yeah, so the thing is, the crab meat is already done. The shrimp is already done.
Yeah.
Everything's done. You can eat this as is. I wouldn't recommend it.
You'd be gross. You'd be very gross. But you just say how it is. You'd be gross.
Yeah, but this one's dumb small.
Yeah.
So we just got to keep an eye out on that one when we get it in the oven. Yeah.
Perfect. And now we have our oven preheated at 375. And
375?
how long are these going to go in for?
Until they're brown.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah. I like
Black
that.
recipe.
Yeah.
Until they're brown.
Sorry.
That's all I got. Listen. It's fine. Just watch your oven. Don't go nowhere. Don't put on a new game of Madden because you're going to burn it. It's there. I'm going to take this for the team. That's delicious.
There you go. Should I go ahead and just put this in the oven?
Yeah.
All right.
Go right
375 for some determined amount of time. All right. How long has it been, if we're being honest?
If we're being honest?
Too long.
Too goddamn long.
We have some things going on with the oven, but like, what is the ideal situation?
So ideally, I like it at 350 because it cooks through and it starts to get the coloring. 375 because it cooks through and gets the coloring on it. We had some things going on with the oven and the technology, and then people using the oven and not doing what they're supposed to do. Casey's fault. So it slowed down the cooking of it. So we ended up broiling it. But if you want to get quick to it, you can broil it for 7 to 10. I'm a personal, again, 375, 400. Get it in there for 10 to 15 minutes and get it out. But look at them.
We have it
You
here.
see them.
I'm excited.
You're welcome.
Which one should we break open into?
We're gonna take the one up front because she's up front.
All right.
We're gonna break it. Go ahead. Look at that.
Boom.
You see?
Yeah.
Look.
While he walks away, I want to eat it and tell you how.
John, tell him.
Oh, that's good.
Go ahead. Tell him, John.
I'm gonna do the black people thing where I just point with my utensil. Mm-hmm. You don't need words. You just point at things.
But if you look at it, oh, you got the soup. Moist, warm, colorful.
I like that a lot. All right, here's the thing.
Go ahead, tell him.
I didn't put no lemon juice on it yet.
We didn't do
And we
nothing.
don't have a sauce or anything. It's actually really fucking good. I do want to put a little lemon juice just to see.
Go ahead. Do it, though.
Just that little bit right there.
Go ahead, enjoy yourself.
Take myself out on a date.
I'm gonna sip on this Gentleman Jack because I did that.
Oh, yeah. If I can find a way to edit this episode to make it seem like I was teaching Marvin how to do all this, so I might put my face on yours.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna change the skin color or anything, just put my face on yours.
Light skin bullshit.
I'm like, man, I was tanning today, crazy, but I covered my face up.
That boy did it.
No, that's really, really good.
I know it is.
And it's healthy.
I know
It's very healthy.
Clean.
I don't want to take a nap after this. That's the most important thing. Marvin, I appreciate you coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it, yeah.
Tell them where they can find you at.
Oh, you can find me on all social media platforms at Marvin Telp. I'm not really that creative, so I just use my first and last name.
I mean, I'm Han Jolin, so.
Yeah. So, but you did something with that.
No, mine is because someone was dyslexic and I just went with it.
That's smart. It's at Marvin Telp. It's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Yeah. It's legitimately, if there's a social media platform that you're on, I'm on it. And
you just, as of this episode, you're auditioning for?
As of this episode, I got my first audition for Grey's Anatomy. I've been waiting for this shit forever. Forever. I'm not saying I'm going to be on Grey's. I'm just saying I got my first one and I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. I'm as excited as I am about these crab cakes because this
is phenomenal. And if you really want to help us out, go to Kevin Hart's LOL Network. Watch Black Nat Geo Season 1. You can type in Season 2. You can type in Season 2.
Does that help us?
And see what happens. Well, we don't get residuals, so it doesn't help us.
Yeah, we don't get residuals from that at all. But do it, because you'll see how hilarious we are as comedic writers.
Yeah, and here's a picture of us at the Kevin Hart launch thing. It's on the screen right now.
Yeah,
We were having a good time.